Ciao a tutti e benvenuti su Inglese con Amore. Mi chiamo Nancy e sono la vostra personal trainer di inglese. Sono originaria dell'Australia, ma ora vivo in Italia. Ogni settimana preparo mini lezioni culturali per allenare il vostro orecchio e aiutarvi a migliorare la comprensione dell'inglese parlato. Nelle mie lezioni non solo imparerete l'inglese, ma scoprirete o riscoprirete anche curiosità sulla cultura, lo stile di vita e le tradizioni di diversi paesi. In questa serie esploreremo la cultura dell'Italia, il bellissimo paese dove vivo. E in futuro potremo anche viaggiare insieme alla scoperta di storie, luoghi e tradizioni di altri paesi. Prima di iniziare la lezione di oggi, vi chiedo un piccolo favore. Iscrivetevi al mio canale per ricevere una notifica ogni volta che pubblico un nuovo episodio. Il vostro supporto significa moltissimo per me e mi aiuta a creare sempre più lezioni per voi. E se vi piacciono i contenuti, ricordatevi di mettere un like, lasciare un commento e se state guardando il podcast su YouTube, attivate i sottotitoli così potete leggere mentre ascoltate. Potete anche seguirmi lì. Trovate il link al mio canale YouTube nel description box. Oggi voglio raccontarvi una storiella che ho scoperto durante il periodo del Covid. All'epoca, alcune persone che conoscevo mi dicevano che il mio italiano non era ancora perfetto, che aveva ancora un accento forte e dovevo migliorare. Così ho cercato delle storie brevi da leggere per studiare e migliorare. E ho scoperto Giovanni Verga, uno dei più grandi scrittori italiani dell'Ottocento. Devo dire che l'italiano dei suoi testi a volte era anche molto difficile per me. Per capire meglio ho letteralmente tradotto parola per parola tutto quello che non conoscevo e così, capendole meglio, queste storie mi hanno toccata profondamente. Soprattutto una, quella che ho adattata per voi oggi in inglese. Questa storia parla di coraggio, ingiustizia e pregiudizio. È ambientata in Sicilia e racconta la vita di un ragazzo di circa 14 anni chiamato Rosso Malpelo. È una storia che mostra, mi emoziona solo a dire il suo nome, comunque è una storia che mostra quanto può essere dura la vita, quanto si è diversi. Ma anche quanta forza può nascondersi in un cuore giovane. Oggi vi invito a mettervi comodi, magari con una bella tazza di tè, e a viaggiare con me fino alla splendida isola di Sicilia, per scoprire insieme a me la storia di Rosso Malpelo, un ragazzo che, nonostante tutto, ha continuato a lottare e a credere in se stesso. Siete pronti ad emozionarvi insieme a me? Allora iniziamo. In a small village in Sicily, long ago, there lived a boy named Malpelo. People called him Rosso Malpelo, which means bad redhead. He was about 14 years old, thin, quiet, with rough hands from work and eyes that seemed older than his years. His red hair shone like fire in the sunlight. But in his village, red hair was feared. People said it was a sign of evil or bad luck. They whispered that anyone born with red hair would bring misfortune, sickness, or death. So from the day he was born, Malpelo was judged, not for what he did, but for who he was. Children laughed at him. Adults insulted him. Even strangers avoided him. "Watch out! The red-haired devil is coming. Stay away or he'll curse you." Malpelo tried not to listen, but words can cut deeper than stones. His father had worked in the sand mine, deep under the Sicilian hills. One day, a wall of sand collapsed, and his father was buried alive. The miners dug for hours, but they found only his broken tools. Malpelo had been just a boy then, standing outside the mine entrance, waiting for his father to come back, but he never did. From that day on, Malpelo worked in the mine too, the same dark tunnels that had killed his father. The villagers said it was his destiny. Of course the red-haired boy should work in the mine, they said. That's where the devil belongs. And so he did. The mine was a world without light. Sand walls rose on every side, and the air was thick and heavy. The men worked in silence, carrying baskets on their shoulders covered in dust. Malpelo carried baskets too, though he was small for his age. His arms ached, his back hurt, and his skin was always raw, but he said nothing. The older men often mocked him. "Faster, boy, move faster, don't be lazy, or you'll end up like your father." Malpelo said nothing. He just kept working. When they hit him, he didn't cry. When they insulted him, he didn't answer. He learned that showing pain only made them laugh louder. So he learned silence, a silence stronger than words. In the village, people still whispered about him. "That boy brings bad luck. Look at his hair." Another one said, "His father died for a reason. It runs in their blood." They believed he was born wicked, that his red hair was a curse. But inside, Malpelo was clever and careful. He learned to read the earth, the way the sand trembled before a collapse, the sound of shifting rocks. He understood the mine better than any grown man. At night, he would sit near the mine's entrance, looking at the stars. He thought about his father, how he worked hard and died poor, and how no one cared. "Father, they said you were unlucky, but I know you were good. I will be strong like you," said Malpelo. The cruelty never stopped. One day, a group of miners made fun of him again. "Hey, red-haired devil, dig faster. The mine wants your soul," said one miner. "Maybe the sand will take you like it took your father," said another. Malpelo looked up, his face calm, but his eyes burned with quiet fire. "Maybe it will," he said, "but at least I will die working, not hiding." The men stopped laughing for a moment. Then they shrugged and walked away. Malpelo went back to his work. His pride was not loud. It lived in silence. He carried on because he had no choice, and because to give up would mean proving them right. Sometimes when the mine was quiet, he would almost hear his father's voice. "Be strong, my son. The world is not fair, but do not let it break you." Those words were all he had. He carried them like a prayer, deep inside his chest. One day, as the sun set red over the hills, Malpelo was working deeper in the mine than ever before. The walls trembled, a low rumble shook the air, and sand began to fall. The men shouted. Some ran for the exit. Others froze in fear. Malpelo did not move. He knew what was coming. He dropped his basket and tried to warn them, but his voice was lost in the thunder of falling earth. He thought of his father in that last moment, of the same sand, the same roar, the same fate. And then the mind closed around him, the dust settled, the torches went out. Rosso Malpelo was gone. When the villagers heard, they did not cry. Some said it was bound to happen. Others whispered it was his destiny, red hair, bad luck. But the truth was different. He had been only a boy who worked like a man, suffered like a man, and died like one. Rosso Malpelo was only 14, but his spirit was stronger than most men's. He had no family left, no friends, no comfort. Yet he kept going, day after day, in the dark mine that had taken his father. He was teased, beaten, and judged only because of his red hair. The people around him saw bad luck and evil where there was only a lonely, brave heart. He never asked for pity. He never begged for kindness. Even when life gave him no reason to hope, he worked, he endured, and he carried on. Some say he was proud, and maybe he was. Not proud of cruelty or of anger, but proud of survival, proud that he could face a cruel world and not be broken by it. And perhaps that is what makes his story so powerful today, because Rosso Malpelo is not only a story about poverty or superstition, it is also a story about bullying, about how society can destroy what it does not understand. Yet even in his suffering, Malpelo shows us something rare, that dignity and strength can live even in silence and even in pain. He was just a boy, judged for his color, mocked for his difference, and forgotten by the world. But through Verga's words, he still speaks, reminding us that cruelty cannot erase courage, and that even the smallest, loneliest life deserves to be seen. E così ragazzi, siamo arrivati alla fine dell'episodio di oggi. Spero che vi sia piaciuta la bellissima storia di Rosso Malpelo e che vi abbia emozionato come ha fatto emozionare me. Se non la conoscevate, sono davvero felice che abbiate potuto scoprirla insieme a me, mentre allo stesso tempo allenate il vostro inglese e migliorate la vostra comprensione dell'ascolto. Nelle prossime puntate condividerò con voi altre storie italiane che ho avuto il piacere di leggere mentre imparavo l'italiano. Naturalmente saranno adattate in inglese in modo semplice per aiutarvi sempre di più a imparare con piacere e senza stress. Se vi è piaciuto questo episodio, iscrivetevi al canale, mettete un like, lasciate un commento e condividetelo con qualcuno che sta imparando l'inglese. Grazie di cuore per essere stati qui con me oggi. Ci vediamo nella prossima episodio. Until next time, my friends, I send you all my love.